Even when I walk on, I dance. Do you know what? Yeah, I only had that song on TikTok, and everyone was talking about Drake's verse. And then when I went to listen to it, like I really thought it must be really bad, but it's fine. Like it's not exciting. It's not particularly the best thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, I saw it as like, you know, Drake is doing J Hus a favour by being on that song. I know J Hus is J Hus, but there's people who are now going to listen to that song who had no idea who J Hus was. So even if it's bad, like, and also I feel like Drake is one of the GOATs. Doesn't matter, like he's been around so long. So I feel like
that's why people criticize.
Yeah, people are going to criticize him more like intensely than they would other rappers.
And I don't understand. It's literally a verse on not a random person, but yeah, pretty much for most of his listeners, like a random person's.
Yeah, it's just because people expect so much from Drake. They wouldn't go in this much on anybody else and do think pieces and YouTube videos on why they didn't like Drake's verse. It's because it's Drake. That's why that's even more happening.
But people don't like Drake, and they do like Drake anymore. But I think it's just cool to call him like corny and all this other kind of stuff, isn't it? It always kind of was, but now people just act like they don't love Drake more as much as they
do. Everybody loves Drake. He's
I
their
like
GOAT.
Drake. I like Drake. Yeah, but I'm not a super fan. I like his music.
I respect Drake. I just think,
do you know what it is?
He's been around for so long. Music. He is a bridge between two generations. He is.
What, like the millennials and Gen Z?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I just think, musically, I really like Drake. Whenever I see anything about him as a person, just get someone, it just seems like annoying. He seems like he has too much money he comes across like he cares a lot what people think about him, and I don't understand why.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know.
Maybe he just wears his heart on his sleeve.
Do you know what it is with Drake? I think he's just too involved. For someone like like Beyonce, he's like, she knows what's going on, but Drake is you don't know she knows what's going on for sure. But Drake is like everywhere, which is why he can find a J Hus and say, "I'm going to do a song with you." Why he can pop up at a Section Boys concert is because he's too in the weeds. Like, do you know what I mean?
I feel like he really likes UK culture.
He does, because he's from Canada, so it makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like he really likes UK culture, and
so does French Montana.
Yeah, but I feel like I have no issue with Drake, but his whole vibe is like, you know, Beyonce has some, even Rihanna, they're both women, but they both have like some mystery about them. It's not like.
You think Rihanna has mystery about
them?
What mystery?
She does have mystery. Like, she's not like, we don't know so much about like Rihanna's life. We don't.
Do we not?
No, we know that. What with that? She's with ASAP and she got a baby. Rihanna's not like out there. Even when she was like living in London allegedly for all this time, like she's not out there like posting like her life on Instagram. Now,
but is that just because she's unproblematic rather than like she's got mystery about her?
I feel like there's like we don't know everything about Rihanna.
I don't think we know everything, but I don't think.
I feel like we know about her because the stuff that she shows us is really in aid of Fenty.
Yeah, but I don't think that she's like mysterious. Like, I don't think there's a mystery to her.
I feel like she's not the kind of celebrity I think just puts herself out there for the sake of being out there.
I can agree with that.
So let me explain to you. Like, even I love Keke Palmer, but let's say someone like Keke Palmer, like she doesn't really have mystery about her. Like, it's all out there. Do you get what I mean? But I love her. It's not as a bad thing.
We know how she thinks.
We know everything. Like, she'll come on like live and she'll just talk. Do you get what I mean? Like Rihanna, it's like I don't feel like anyone can really feel like, if they do, they're crazy, but you can't really feel like you know Rihanna. And these people that feel like they know Beyonce, they're also mad. Like, you can't. That is not as accessible. Whereas Drake, like, I don't know, he just feels accessible. And I feel like if he was like a regular guy, he would fall into the sassy man category. And I don't know why. It's just
how you're talking about Drake is how I feel about Diddy.
Diddy would definitely be a sassy man. He would definitely.
If you look good, act bad.
No, anyway, but yeah, I like Drake, but I just feel like he seems like someone I don't know. He falls into the sassy man category. Not that that's a bad thing. It's just not my vibe.
You just don't expect that from Drake. Well, what have you been up to this week?
I have officially started my Harry Potter marathon.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, so we're now about to start number 4.
Okay.
So the Goblet of Fire.
Okay.
So it's good.
You've gone past my favourite then.
Which one is your favourite one?
Prisoner of Azkaban.
Do you know what, yeah? From what, book or the film?
Both.
It's not one of my favourites. I actually prefer the Goblet of Fire.
Do you?
Yeah. And I really prefer the Goblet of Fire. I think it's a bit more like from a film, even in the book actually, but the film is a bit more action.
You think compared to Prisoner of Azkaban? That's a good film.
I literally just watched it yesterday and I was like, it's good, but I remember thinking, yeah, this is not my fave. But I enjoy every single, like, I'm just enjoying it all. And also, because I'm watching it with someone who's never watched before, I'm like, at points, I'm looking through, has he clocked this? Has he clocked that? So yeah, that is literally the most exciting thing that I've done this week. But it was a good week. Like, I'm cool. I'm just trying to not do too much at the moment because I can feel like, you know, when your workload is piling up and stuff like that. So I'm trying to relax. But it's been the first time in a while that I've been able to just have a weekend where I could do something like yeah. Okay. And I'm almost caught up on Love Island.
Almost.
Yes, I'm like 2 episodes away.
Okay, that's not that bad.
Yeah. So no, it's an evening's work.
I'm definitely up to date, but
yeah. How's your week?
Yeah, my baby turned 2.
Cute.
I got a 2-year-old.
Don't say the terrible 2s.
I don't think he's. I probably sound like every parent, but I don't think he's gonna like have a terrible 2s.
I don't really think
like
he is
that.
either, to be honest.
But I have seen a lot of TikTok saying 3 is the real number that people should be scared of. Yeah. So I don't know if that's true, parents, but people say 2 is okay. 3 is where it's really like terrible, but no one talks about it. Yeah. So yeah.
So you got 1 more year, really.
Yeah, but yeah, it was good. Like after having, you know, the traditional engagement and stuff, I didn't have it in me, and neither did my man, to like do anything crazy for his birthday. So we literally just opened our front door and said, if you have a child and you want to come in, you can come in. So we had food, like my mum made some food, and we had like some sand. We bought him some sand in like the, you know, that,
brave, you know?
Well, you know, like the sand pit thingy,
Yeah.
he's got that with like water. I had the paddling pool out. He's got his swing.
I texted you. I was like, "Does he know it's his birthday?" And you was like, "No, he
took some long nap. Like he did. he had fun, but I think he was just thinking,
great day.
Yeah, like I had a good day today, not really knowing what's going on. And then
you sing happy birthday.
Yeah, we did.
So what did he think then? He was thinking, all right, everyone's singing.
Yeah, like I don't think he was like, even his cake, I tried to get him to blow out the candle, and he was just like, okay,
I'm not supposed to play with fire.
Yeah, and like I put cake on his mouth and he didn't like it, so. Yeah, but yeah, it was alright. And then I was with family the day after for my granddad's 5-year like memorial thing. Aww. So again, like Kobe could just run around with like loads of kids. Like I was like, at points I was like, where is he? I can't see him. So but yeah, it was good, I guess. Yeah, like
busy.
Yeah, busy, very busy weekend. I'm waiting to have a calm weekend.
I don't like to do 2 things in a row. Like
honestly,
I don't like to have
it's
2
horrible.
days where I'm doing stuff.
It's horrible. I'm hoping I have a weekend soon where I don't have anything to do, but I feel like that's not coming until like mid-July.
Yeah, I used to have like my the routine that I like is 1 day in, 1 day out on the weekend. I don't like being out both days, and this was the first weekend where I was like in like 1 day, like a full day where I didn't have to do anything.
Sounds
and
peaceful.
Actually it was only because my friend cancelled on me at the last moment. You know, someone cancels on you and you're like,
I'm always so happy.
I'm not mad at that boy. Yeah. So, and on Saturday actually I went to spend some time with my boyfriend's family, and then, you know, like sometimes I love being Nigerian, but sometimes it's just long because his mum was like, she's gonna cook, and obviously,
did you have to help?
Yeah, I have to offer. And then she was like, yeah, okay.
Oh wow, so you actually like got in there and like,
yeah, I like, this is, sometimes it'd be nice just to be like, oh, from one of the, like, you know, do you want to help? Oh no, don't be silly, how could you? No, it was like, yeah.
So yeah, come and help.
Yeah, come and help.
Wow.
Now I'm cleaning chicken on my side.
Wow.
Now I'm cleaning chicken and making jollof rice, only to go home and make more jollof rice.
Oh my God.
But yeah.
That's so funny. And then there's me, like, every Wednesday when my fiance and son go to his parents, I'm looking forward because he always comes home with food. So I'm like, yeah, Wednesdays and Thursdays I do not cook because there's food.
Yeah. No, I don't. It's the first time, like, I just, you just offer. Like, I don't know. It's just my Nigerian home training. I should have just closed my mouth. But you don't want to seem rude.
I guess.
You wouldn't know. Would you not offer?
Man, even on Christmas Day, like, we slept over there.
No, but if someone's cooking, if his mum was cooking, wouldn't you offer to help?
Do you know what it is? I know his mum, like, she just doesn't, like, she by the time I'm ready to offer, she's almost done. Or, like, do you know what I mean?
Is it because you offer when she's almost done?
No, like Christmas Day, for example, when she was cooking, like, I was still asleep. It was mad early, like, when she started cooking, like, before the crack of dawn. So by the time I come down, like, everything's pretty much done and that just needs to go in the oven. So,
fine.
Yeah.
And teach me not to fast up myself next time. Anyway, HR.
So, HR, we've got a few things to talk about, don't we? Where do we want to start? Shall I start with my plot twist story then?
Yeah, go for it.
So, somebody who used to work for the Royal Mail, Scottish man, but he was working in England. He basically said that his manager was racist because his manager couldn't understand his Scottish accent and was constantly asking him to repeat himself. And he felt, and I quote, that was just a bit racist. So
a little bit.
Yeah. And then so one day he basically took it upon himself when essentially he got in trouble for something and his manager was having a word with him, and he decided to record the conversation. And in that conversation, the manager was like, yeah, like, can you slow down a little bit, like, so I can understand you, kind of thing. And then the Scottish guy is like, he started talking about notable Scottish people, and the manager's like, yeah, I saw this comedian live, and I really like Scottish people, blah blah. So kind of like defeated the point that the other guy was trying to make. Anyway, it goes to court, and the Scottish guy says, he suffers from depression and anxiety, and a contributing factor to that is the fact that every time he would go into work, he was constantly asked to repeat himself by his manager. So the court actually ruled that comes under harassment, and ruled in his favor in that sense that it's harassment
on what
because of on his mental health, because of his mental health.
Oh no, I expect that.
Yeah, but he didn't. From what I read, I couldn't see if he got any money, but it basically ruled in his favor in the end. But they did say that the manager is not racist, and you just talk really fast.
Fine, as a fellow fast talker, I understand.
Yeah,
I understand. So, what should the manager have done? So the manager should have been like, "Please, can you speak more slowly, so that I can understand you?"
I think the manager. No, sorry. I think the Scottish guy, just wanted people, including his manager, to just understand him without asking him to speed up or slow down.
Yeah,
I think he just thought, well, I'm Scottish. I'm not
not foreign.
Yeah, I'm basically like I'm not Japanese, for example. Yeah. So why can't you understand me? We're brothers and sisters. What's going on? Yeah. So I think that's what it is. I don't know if there was a way he wouldn't have offended him by saying anything.
But what is, like, if you are genuinely struggling to understand someone's accent, what's the remedy for that?
So as someone who works for a global company, I'm not gonna lie, especially as somebody who works. I work in investigations. Yeah. So I'm constantly, I am constantly taking notes of what people are saying. And sometimes, I come across some accents where it's a deep struggle, like for me to capture the notes in the way that I would like to, because it's just an accent I'm just not used to hearing all the time. And if I'm honest, I don't ask them to slow down. I just capture exactly what I can, and then I send them my notes and I say, if you want to add anything or I've missed anything.
How do you know they're not adding stuff that never happened? When it's not adding words they never said.
If that's what they want to stand on. No, but if there's anything that like significant that they feel I've missed that needs to be captured, then I'll say like, please add it if it's something I've really missed. But I'll try and capture the essence of what they're saying rather than verbatim, because like it's just a myth.
I hate making notes I hate making important notes. I just hate it. Like I hate the idea that I might miss something. Obviously I have to do it, but I hate the idea that I might miss something off or write something like, I don't know, not get the essence. And then I hate when I'm sending out notes and then people have like, I don't know, I find it to be quite a lot of pressure.
It is a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
That's my everyday. Like,
I don't like it. I don't like it. And you know what? Yeah. I hate when people expect you to make verbatim notes. Like I
actually enjoy making verbatim notes. I'm not going to lie.
What do you do? Write in shorthand. I cannot capture everything you're saying.
I do. And in my speech that I give to people before I start taking notes, I say, I am taking your notes verbatim. So please, like, bear with me.
Do you know what I hate? You know why I can't take verbatim notes? You know when you're in investigation and not investigation?
I love it because I want you to see exactly when you said like XYZ and my eyebrows raised. I want you to read it.
I don't like taking verbatim notes because, you know when sometimes you're in a hearing or some sort and they're doing back and forth, I will literally write, as long as like it's not going to jeopardize anything, but I will literally write back and forth about this. Because like, or I write, the initials and who was talking about it, because when you're going back and forth and you've said the same thing 3 or 4 times,
I don't write it when it's
reiterating the same thing, and it's like, this is the point we've heard 4 times already. Like, what is the value of me including it again?
None.
No, I can't.
Yeah, but I do enjoy taking it verbatim because sometimes people say some mad things. I'm like, I want you to see exactly what you said.
I don't even like my own handwriting. I hate reading my own handwriting back.
Oh, I type.
You type?
I type. I don't write. The hell?
Mate.
Right.
Huh?
You write in 2023.
I write notes.
You are
I'm a boomer. Boomer in my heart.
Literally, you are a boomer for true.
I'm a boomer in my heart. Sometimes it's nothing better than a pen, but I can't even understand what I say, what I've written sometimes.
That's why I don't write, because I end up scribbling.
I used to read my, your exam paper back, and I used to read it back and think, God, this one's with you, boy, because I don't even know what I've written, and I got good grades. Like even in like some of my like tax exams and stuff, we had to give advice. I would read it back and I would think, what?
They must be used to seeing bad handwriting.
Yeah, they must be. And my handwriting is really, really, really bad. Like, I don't know what happened. Because everyone in not that handwriting runs in your family, but why? I don't understand why my handwriting is so bad. I've got like doctor style handwriting.
Do you? I've got good handwriting.
You've got what?
I've got good handwriting.
You seem like you have good handwriting.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I don't. My handwriting is chaotic. You know them people that read their handwriting, I don't know what they would think about me. You know when they can tell what kind of person you are from your handwriting. Mine, I don't know.
I can't believe you write. I defo type.
Really?
Yeah, I type.
No.
I even tell people
type sometimes, but
all the time. I even tell people if it looks like I'm not looking at you, it's because I'm typing. Yeah.
No. Also, I find that like now you can use the transcription stuff in Teams when it's like I use transcription, then I'll use the transcription to make notes. Obviously, I write my own notes, but then I find that that's quite good as well.
Yeah, we don't use Teams, but yeah, I'm aware.
Do you have, whatever you use, does it have transcription? I don't know. It's really helpful. So now I don't mind, like, if it needs to be sort of like verbatim. I didn't even know, I thought it was so old school, I didn't know companies still do it, but there are quite a few companies now that are just note takers. You just dial them into a call. I've been using one recently. You just dial them into a call. You send them the link and they sit there and they make notes, and then they send you the verbatim notes.
I love that.
Yeah, it's great, but I didn't even know that it was a thing. I thought, no, but the people are note takers. So all them like, old school secretaries and people that can.
It makes sense.
Yeah, it does make a lot of sense.
It makes sense. I love that.
Yeah, so they just sit there and they make notes, and obviously they capture the essence of the conversation, and the notes are like verbatim. They say who's in, like, they make minutes, verbatim notes. They do everything.
I love that. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I'm all about like outsourcing now. Like if there's something that I don't have to do, that you can pay for, and it's like not of good value for you to do. Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. We've digressed small.
We have, not really, but
yeah.
Yeah. What else is in the HR news world?
The chief pilot at Ryanair has been fired for sexual harassment. Yeah, it's bad.
I'm rolling my eyes for anyone who's listening.
So, basically, there was a whistleblower and they made a complaint to, I think, the aviation authority or something. And they did an investigation and they found, well, I don't know what they found, but they fired him. So obviously they believed the whistleblower and whatever they found was enough to actually fire him. Not like, oh, he resigned because of like he was fired.
Yeah.
And they said that he did things like he would send like sexually inappropriate messages to female pilots, and then he even like changed the rota of where people were flying so that he could fly next to, like, fly with the women that he wanted to fly next to.
That's disgusting.
It's disgusting, isn't it? And like aviation and pilots and stuff is just one of those places where obviously women are so underrepresented. And imagine like going through all of that, and it probably is a struggle. You're in like the minority, you're trying to prove yourself. Now you're finally like one of the few female pilots, and then you come to work only for the chief pilot, the most senior pilot who's got like, you know, responsibility for stuff like training and all this other kind of stuff, for him to be harassing you. Like, what is that?
That's horrible. That is horrible. And it's an abuse of power as well, isn't it? Because he's a chief pilot.
Exactly.
You know, people probably felt like they had to listen when he did change schedules and wanted to fly with XYZ person.
Yeah.
But you see what Ryanair should be focusing on? While they're here having us on these like planes that are buses and charging £100,000 for a suitcase, you need to look in your home.
Ryanair will never change. I'll stand on this because they have no incentive. Like even me, I hate myself for it, but like certain destinations, it makes sense to fly Ryanair. Or obviously, I've got family in Ireland, so if BA is trying to charge me £120 for a flight that I can get from Ryanair for £15, like Ryanair, you'll see me. Like, let's just be real, and that's what they do. Like I told you, when I saw that TikTok of them. You know when they turn the plane into a face?
Oh, when it's laughing.
Yeah, it's laughing at the people saying that they're never going to book or whatever.
Yeah.
They're never going to change. But that's what they should be focused on.
Yeah. But after flying with Wizz, I'm good with Ryanair.
Why? Do you know,
Wizz Air
I have a flight booked with Wizz Air.
The worst.
I've actually got, you know that flight that I was talking about? It's with Wizz Air.
Wizz Air is the worst airline
You're not even afraid of ruining the bag, so it must be bad.
I will rip their singlet every time. That is the worst.
I've got a flight booked with them.
Oh my gosh. You know they make Ryanair look like Emirates.
Don't say that.
Listen, Wizz Air is the worst airline I've ever flown with.
What did they do to you? Why is everyone saying
it's horrible. It's just horrible. Like, you just, like, it shouldn't be allowed. It's illegal.
Man.
It's so bad. Like, I'm flying with them this week.
Oh, you're flying with...
No. But they're the only airline that fly there. They're the only airline that fly to that destination. No other. I was, like, literally looking. I was even willing to take it indirect for a 3-hour flight. So you could... Just so I didn't have to take Wizz. I flew with them to Greece in January and it was literally hell. It was my first time and I thought it was my last.
I'm gonna let you know how my flight goes. I'll let you know how it goes. But I'm quite low maintenance when it comes to flying. Like
I think I am too.
I would anyway. That's okay. You are too.
Thank you. I think I am. So, and it's the worst. Like.
But I need people to explain what. I did say someone I know, she's a travel content creator. She said that they wouldn't let her check in online and then they charged her at the airport.
Yeah, they charge you like €55 if you don't check in online. But for example, I'm supposed to fly on Wednesday and they haven't allowed me to put my details in yet to check in. So it's like, you want me to pay that $55? I'm not going to. We'll fight. But do you know what I mean? Like everything is, the aeroplane is literally like this big. Like my man is tall, but he's not like a giant. He's like 6'1", and his leg was literally like sticking out the side onto the aisle because like the plane was so it's smaller than the Ryanair planes. Like, it's horrible.
Anyway, we'll see. Hopefully, I will live to tell the tale, but hopefully it's not so bad this time. I just get on planes and sleep, and I just wake up at my destination. So,
good luck sleeping on a Wizz Air flight.
I can sleep on a bike. Like, I don't have that issue. I sleep immediately as I get on the plane.
You're a kid.
I basically am. I struggle to stay asleep in the car, like to stay awake in the car.
Oh, really? You're one of those people?
And I hate when people fall asleep when I'm driving.
Yeah.
What the hell? Am I an Uber?
Yeah.
Wait, you better wake up.
That's not nice. That's only happened to me once where I fell asleep while someone was driving.
Oh, no. Now it's really bad. I hate when people fall asleep with me. But when I'm in the car with my boyfriend, I always say to him, oh, do you want me to stay awake and talk, or should I sleep?
So that you can sleep.
And he always said, no, it's fine to sleep. And he just puts on some football podcast and everyone's happy. I get to sleep. He gets to listen to his podcast.
Everyone's a winner.
Everyone's a winner. And he doesn't want to talk to me. And those, I will talk. If you say you want to talk, I'll talk for 2 hours. We could be driving for 2 hours.
We know, Lola.
I will talk for 2 hours. I'll take 2 breaths. So he doesn't want it. But yeah, so he was fired. I think it was really good. And there's been quite a few stories recently about whistleblowers. And like, it's really hard, you know, like to be the one
to whistleblow.
Yeah, especially when you're like, when your career could be at risk, like the chief pilot, that's a big person to whistleblow on, like the most senior person who does what you do in your organization.
That's true. But I do feel like by the time a lot of people whistleblow, it's because like the writings are all on the wall. Like there's just a lot of,
there's so much.
Yeah, like it just can't be ignored by the time. Like you get some, I've had people whistleblow and it's like, what are you doing? Like, you know, you shouldn't have done this. Like, why are you wasting everyone's time? But majority of the time, by the time someone whistleblows, it's like, you know, it needed to happen.
On a related but not related topic, have you seen the videos of those Downing Street parties?
I haven't seen them, but I've heard about them.
I just can't. Do you know what? Boris Johnson writing for the Daily Mail.
I know. I'm getting how much?
I am so sick of this government. I'm sick of Boris Johnson in general. I think it's sick that like he stepped down as an MP and then suddenly this is when the videos were being released. Like, where are the bodies? Like, who knows where the bodies are buried? Because suddenly he's finally escaped like accountability. He's had his hearing. Now he's not even an MP. He can't be forced to resign or fired or whatever. Now this is when all the videos were bad. Like, there's no way, you know, all of this, oh, I don't know if you could say it was a party. Was it a party? My G, it was a party. People were dancing. Like, it was a party. And now he's writing for the Daily Mail. And he could even be writing about politics. He said he'll try not to.
So do you think that him getting a job at the Daily Mail was down to connections and referrals?
I think the Daily Mail is full of people with no moral compass. Like, I'm sure there are maybe some in there, but they will literally do anything for likes, for views, for engagement. Like, they're just engagement hosts. So I don't even think it was down to connections. Like, he was the PM. Like, he's just like the same way they would offer something to Piers Morgan, anybody who appeals to their audience. And obviously they have this like raging right-wing audience. So, and he's the front man for that. So of course they'll love him. Yeah.
Do you know what I genuinely don't understand about this country?
What?
I feel like if this was America and videos came out like that, like there would be so much uproar. There would be like, there'd be a lot of like, you know, backlash. I just feel like so much has happened with this political party, and as a country, we've all just like sat back and like done nothing.
That's our vibe. Apathy.
Like, it's so like,
apathy is our vibe.
It's very Black Mirror.
We're so apathetic to everything. Like, we just don't care about so much stuff that probably we should care. And until like it's on your doorstep.
About this country though, they will moan to everybody. They'll moan to their neighbour. They'll moan to their work colleague. They'll moan to the person
and
on the train.
Do nothing. Yeah, that's our vibe. That's what this, you know. That's what it means to be British. We like to moan, but we won't rock the boat. That's literally our whole brand.
It's mad.
That's our whole brand. Did you see Joe Biden say "God save the Queen" at the end of some speech he gave?
LOL.
People are saying he's got Dementia.
He needs to retire. Did you see that Trump went to a restaurant and said like it's all on him and then left without paying?
Are you joking? Are you joking?
These politicians are so funny, man.
Nah, I definitely think like journalism does have like a professional code of ethics, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like what's it, the British journalism, whatever. Mm-hmm. I just kind of feel like your code of ethics or your code of conduct should have something in there around conflicts of interest. Or like, there's no way you could have been the previous previous PM, and now you write for the Daily Mail.
That's why I asked you like if it's also connections and stuff, because like
being the Prime Minister is the ultimate connection.
It's true. Speaking of
segue queen
connections, a new report found the UK is rife with nepotism. So 42% of workers have gained jobs after being referred by someone they know. Mm-hmm. Almost all those respondents were men who were most likely to leverage personal connections to boost their careers. Mm-hmm. And almost half of the men on the survey, so 48%, said they had gained a job through someone they knew, compared to 36% of women. So
how do we define nepotism versus networking? Nepotism versus networking.
Yeah, I think that's a good distinction. So nepotism is the practice among those with power or influence of favouring relatives, friends, or associates, especially by giving them jobs.
Okay.
Yeah. So I interpret that as a manager, a director, somebody who has the influence to influence the recruiting process and say, actually, this is your person.
And it's like a personal connection, isn't it? Because actually networking could be, I met you at an event, we don't have a personal connection. And actually that's not, obviously that wouldn't be nepotism if you then introduce me to someone. But if you're like a friend, a relative, like, you know, a family, I know some other kind of connection, then actually that's when it would become nepotism.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not against nepotism.
For you.
For my people.
Yeah. That's what
I'm not against nepotism, but I've seen it. Like I've seen nepotism in the workplace, and I was like, well, in one of my first jobs, the HR director brought in his niece, so his wife's sister's daughter, and she came in as a HR intern. I don't even think she wanted to really like do it, but she needed something to do. She was getting an annual salary. Like it wasn't even like she was, you know, just having her travel paid for and stuff. She left, she came back as like a HR admin, like a proper one. And that was one of my first experiences of nepotism close up. And I was like, wow.
I saw it early. Like when I was at Deloitte, they have like a big summer vacation scheme, or what they call it, like a summer internship program. And then it's like quite difficult to get on it. But then they had an informal summer, or like an informal internship program where there was no application process. So really it was mostly the kids of partners or like high profile clients that they would put on it. So imagine you'd see these just ordinary students coming in, doing all the testing, doing all the interviews, assessment centers, and they'll be sat next to someone whose dad is a partner. And imagine the kind of like how that's going to boost your CV to have that you worked at a big 4 like professional service firm on your CV and you did nothing but show up.
That's why I say I'm not against nepotism, but I also think with nepotism it kind of just reinforces like the systematic prejudice that we have at all levels. Like, you know, if a majority of partners, for example, in the big 4 are straight white men, then they're going to bring in another generation of white people, because I won't just say it's going to be men. It's because
they'll have daughters.
Yeah, they'll have daughters, but it will be another level of seeing the majority in the same positions.
It's most problematic from a race and a class perspective.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So I get it, but at the same time, I am for nepotism at the same time.
In underrepresented groups.
I am, because like it's really hard. So you can bring someone in. Yeah. Like I think I've partaken in nepotism, but I didn't realize it was nepotism at the time.
What did you do?
So in the same role where I was a HR advisor actually at the time, and I was a generalist, so you know I also helped with recruitment. So I got 2 individuals that I know, one being one of my best friends, a job where I work. And it was because like I was part of the recruitment process. I was like, this is your woman and this is your guy, and they're gonna be great. And
you believe they're gonna be great, right?
No, I knew they both stayed there. Like one stayed longer than I did. So like they were both really good. But I guess that was an example of nepotism, which is why I'm for it. Yeah,
I think if things were representative, like if the people who had the power to do some nepotism, if things were representative, I'd have no issues. If we had like a representative workforce, I would have less issues, because then some of those biases would kind of it will come out in the wash. But right now, the reason I'm kind of anti is because it does typically favor groups that are already overrepresentative. I work with organizations where I see it. Most of the organizations I work with, actually, there's it to some degree, because when you work in small organizations, they're more likely to do referrals, not have an internal recruiter and that sort of thing. So you get a lot more through referrals, and you get a lot of the same kind of people. And sometimes referrals are, hey, this is somebody I used to work with, they're really good, no problem. Mostly no problem. And then you get referrals of, my cousin, my brother, my sister's somebody does this, they'll be good. And sometimes they're not good and sometimes they are, but you just see it a lot more in smaller organizations where they haven't yet invested in a TA function, a talent acquisition function.
I hear that. But this is why I also think for the companies who care when it comes to diversity and inclusion, to actually make sure that you are doing what you say, because when it comes to things like referrals, if you do want more diversity but you're not treating your differently abled employees the way you're treating everybody else, or giving them that same equity, your ethnic minorities, your gay people, whatever it is, if you're not actually treating them how you're supposed to, then you're not going to get necessarily referrals for those types of people, because they're like, well, why the hell would I bring someone here
literally
if I'm being dragged every single day?
And that is what it is. That's exactly what it is. You need to invest in the experience of the people who are already there, so that they can be telling people this is a great place to work. Because otherwise, if you have people that you there's certain places that I've worked anyway, at least one place in particular, that I couldn't in good conscience tell anybody to come and work.
100%.
You know that you feel like there's a job here, you could probably do it, you might make some money, but I can't do that to you because I actually like you. Or at least if I don't like you, I don't hate you.
100%. I'd never do it to you.
I wouldn't do it to you.
Yeah.
So that's why it's important. But I'm not surprised. And a lot of businesses are small businesses as well. For sure, if someone told me when I was hiring it, I got a couple of referrals. They weren't the right people, but if someone told me I know someone, they're really good, blah blah, maybe
check them out.
Yeah, I would definitely check them out.
Yeah, but I feel that's different. That's a straight referral, because you're the person in power in that situation. Yeah. So it's not too bad. It would be more Well, I don't know. If you have let's say I had a friend and it was that if someone was your friend, for instance, and you recommended that person to me, the relationship that we have is a friendship relationship. And if they're leveraging the fact that you're my friend to get I guess some favor in that, or some advantage in that, then I guess it is sort of nepotism. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I don't think I've ever been able to. I would love to take advantage of some nepotism, but I don't think I've been able. No, I've I haven't had
I think it is potentially now. I think where I am in my career and some of the relationships I've built, I think there's potential for me to experience nepotism.
Yeah,
in a positive way. Eventually,
is it like the relation? This is what I don't know. This is the bit I don't get. The only thing I'd be able to say that I've maybe experienced nepotism with is I spoke about my first client and how, or my first like time doing picking up a contingent recruitment job. That's someone that I know, but I know them from work. But we are also friends now. And they gave me the role. But I'd like to think that obviously...
That's nepotism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they also had other recruiters working. No, they didn't. I've also spoke to other recruiters.
It's still nepotism.
How does nepotism work? Is it like...
I think that's nepotism.
Is it that they give you is it that you get access to the opportunity because...
of your...
Or you get selected because of that?
I think it's both. I think it's you have access to the opportunity like quicker, but also the person who's given you access to that opportunity has influence over whether or not
you get that opportunity. And that was definitely the case for me.
Yeah, that's nepotism.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, that's nepotism.
Am I a Nepo baby?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, 100%.
Who's your favourite Nepo baby?
Ooh, who's my favourite Nepo baby?
I feel like I know what you're going to say. The one that everyone says.
Who does everyone say?
Blue Ivy.
I don't think that's my favourite Nepo baby.
Really?
I love Blue Ivy, but I don't think that's my favourite Nepo baby. She's one of the greats. She's my favourite. I don't know.
Liam Gallagher's daughter seemed like she was good vibes.
Who's Liam Gallagher's daughter?
I saw her on TikTok. She was just saying, yeah, like I got lots of advantages from my dad being Liam Gallagher, but why would I not take them? Like she was really like honest about it. She was like, yeah, like I'm not gonna pretend like I worked as hard as everyone else to get them. Like my dad is Liam Gallagher.
Literally, I'd be the same as well. I don't know. I really like LeBron James's kids. Like I know Bronny is playing like professional basketball now. So
are you a Nepo baby if you're, because obviously in certain things that you just have the talent as well. Like you just have, like for instance, Sean Wright Phillips, Bradley Wright Phillips. They're footballers, but they had to be. I guess nepotism doesn't take away from the fact that you are still good at what you do.
But it's giving you the opportunity. For example, like if you're a singer, there's loads of really, really good singers out there. But if you're not, that, like, I don't, oh gosh, okay.
It won't be as hard for you.
Yeah, like, people are going to be like, huh? But like, for example, someone like Coi Leray, yeah. If you know who Coi Leray is.
Another flight.
Yeah.
I was about to make him want to bite.
Like her dad is Benzino. He was like the one of the founders of the Source magazine, like hip hop magazine, one of the biggest magazines at the time for hip hop. Yeah. Like she's not that great. She's okay. But the reason why she was able to kind of like even build that was because of who her dad is.
Tiana Taylor, Nepo baby.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say Tiana. Okay, well, Tiana's got great talent, but she was able to be in spaces, though.
Doesn't mean that you don't have talent.
But
you got access to the opportunity.
It's the access changes to those opportunities. Diddy's twins, they're going to be models. They're great. They've got the model look.
Obviously, we got all the Kardashians.
You got, literally, they're all Nepo, like, do you know what I mean? Like, who would they be? Who would all these little, anyway.
Oh, I saw a video of, that, what's her name? Kendall. You know Kendall, when there's a video of Kendall talking like, I took my last name off all my casting things because I wanted people to take me seriously as a model.
Rather than having Jenna.
Yeah, it's not because I was a Jenna. I didn't want them to know, my G, we can see your face. You're literally on
everywhere.
TV.
Yeah.
Like they know who you are when you go to the castings. Like the Nepo babies I hate the most are the ones that don't acknowledge that they're Nepo babies.
I like Brooklyn as well. Brooklyn Beckham. He's
cool.
I like him as a Nepo baby.
What's that one? Nicole Richie?
Oh, I love Nicole from The Simple Life.
Yeah.
Like
all of that. There's actually so many. Tracy Ellis Ross.
Oh, she's one of my faves as well.
Yeah.
She's
one of my favorite Nepo babies. Yeah.
She's fab. I was watching Girlfriends yesterday. Anyway,
I watched it start to finish when it came out on Netflix.
So did I. I'm on the third time now. I really shouldn't admit this, but I can watch the same. Like once I find comfort in it. Like I watch Girlfriends, Moesha, My Wife and Kids. Like. From beginning to end, like all the time. I can't
do that. Like it has to be a certain amount of time, so I've forgotten like what.
No, I'm fine. And then I'll do it in the mix of like I'm currently watching Black Mirror and stuff. So,
But I intend to have some Nepo babies in the future.
Yeah, I love that. Like I always say, like with my son, you know, having all these different like amazing people around me, like he literally,
there's gonna be opportunities.
Yeah, like he should have access based on all my you know friends and family and what you all do.
It's all about not raising like a whatless child. Like,
like you're into music, go speak to your auntie Dish. You're into
you want someone like, even if your baby is a Nepo baby, you want them to speak about them like Tiana Taylor, like what you just said, like good. Yeah, Nepo, but she's good. Yeah, you don't want them to be like looking at Coyle Ray, like, not to say that she's obviously good enough, but she's not necessarily like the person that would have stood out in a crowd if she didn't have the connections, if you know what I mean. Yeah. So like, I feel like I'm like I said, I'm for nepotism. I'm not necessarily. I can't be for it, knowing what I know about the world, but for me, I'm for it. Yeah, I just don't even know
at my level.
Let me tell you, I could have experienced nepotism from a very young age. So one of my, I've got 2 older brothers. One of them was a manager at Office, you know, the Office, the shoe shop. And it was years and years ago. So as I turned, maybe I was like 16, so I was looking for a job. And my brother, he gave my other brother a job. Now, this other brother, he did not do the right things. Yeah? You know this other brother.
And if he was here, he would be jumping on the mic.
to correct me. But no, he didn't do the right things. And maybe he didn't take the job as seriously as he should have taken it. And obviously you're the manager and now you're looking bad because your Nepo baby brother ain't doing the right things. So now your, you know, potential Nepo baby sister comes along and asks for a job and
you say no.
That's what happened. And to this day, I'll never forgive him because I would have been, you know me, I would have been on job.
Yeah.
I would have been one of the best. Listen, I would have been one of the best employees he ever had. We gave the opportunity to the wrong sibling, and that's what happened.
And now we'll never know.
Exactly. So I could have been a Nepo baby from early, but
that's hilarious.
Those that came before me messed it up.
Okay, so last thing before we wrap up is I saw another survey that surveyed 2,000 C-suite leaders.
Mm-hmm. So it's like chief exec, chief financial officer, chief marketing officer, chief technology officer, and then man there, and then women there.
Yeah, then man there. And they did a survey with thousands of them and 4,500 HR managers too.
Okay.
And it was to find out, you know, what both parties need, what they both need in terms of their relationships with each other, their working relationships. And C-suite leaders acknowledged that they need to get HR more involved in a lot of their decisions.
Then do it.
But 63% of those said they still do not know what HR do and would like better understanding of what they do.
I'm so sorry, but how do you get to C level? Nah, do you know, I can excuse some C's. CTO, I can probably excuse you.
Yeah. You're not interested in us.
Yeah, I can maybe chief technology officer, chief product officer. I can kind of.
You said if you're into tech, you're okay.
I can forgive you because maybe that's not what you didn't have so much to do in it. But other people in the C-suite, how can you not know what HR do? And whose responsibility is it? Is it for us to say what we do, or for them knowing that people are probably the main thing running their business to find out what HR are there to do?
I think it's a bit of both. I feel like there needs to be more accountability on leaders when they get into those positions, on actually being more proactive, on understanding how best to work with HR. I don't think that necessarily sits with just HR to say, hey, I'm so-and-so and this is what I do. And do you know what I mean? Like,
because who else does that? Who else does that? Like, does the finance person come to you? Maybe your business partner might, your finance business partner.
You're right. Like, how do you get to that level without using HR in a strategic way at different points in your career before getting to that level? Should you be in that level if you haven't even experienced
That's the real
stuff?
question, because I think you probably should have had to partner with HR in a strategic way before that. But realistically, people get promoted for really different things. Like that's why I say CTO. Not that it's not important for them, but a lot of the time they're not promoted on the basis of their people management ability or even their people understanding. Like they literally just kind of outsource that.
Yeah, when HR become AI, they'll want to be interested in us.
They become AI. No, but I just don't think enough people care. Like it's not even positioned as something they should care about. So I give you an example. When you're gonna be like, when you're being promoted to that kind of C-suite level, let's say you're an ops manager or you're an ops operations director, and now you're gonna be the COO, the chief operations officer, right? There's certain things that a lot of companies will do for you, give you training, give you coaching, give you mentoring, like on something like finance. So they'll make sure that as you're getting to the director level, you know, you are going to be obviously managing your P&L, probably from when you're more junior than that. But you need to be able to make sure that you can be in the meeting, like the board meeting or the SLT meeting, the senior leadership team meeting, and that you'll be able to hold your own when they start talking about EBITDA and all this other kind of stuff. Like they'll make sure that you are able to do that. You'll be coached around that. They'll specifically say, okay, you know, spend some time with the CFO, you know, spend some time with your finance business partner. Like you'll be directed to those areas to make sure that you're able to do that. But why are they not? Like, why do we not do that for HR? Like, why do we not get to a point where you're like, you know, you need to be fully across all your HR stuff. Go and spend some time with the HR team, the people team, you know, find out, you know, go speak to your HR business partner, find out, you know, exactly what they do and make sure that you fully understand this, because we're gonna talk about it in the board meeting. You need to be across it. That don't happen.
It doesn't, but to a certain level it should.
It definitely should. But I just don't think people still don't take HR seriously enough to go out of their way.
They don't, which is why 2/3 of HR managers felt the most valued during the pandemic's peak rather than today. And 60% say their strategic influence has reduced. This meant that 50% of the HR managers didn't feel HR's input was valued by organizations. 70% wish it had a bigger influence. And that meant that 40% of HR managers also plan to leave their job within the next 6 to 12 months.
I think I'm not surprised by the fact that they felt that they were being used or more valued strategically during COVID.
Because no one knew what to do.
Yeah, and people were actually like looking. The reality is that a lot of the times people don't know what to do. Like when it comes to people, or maybe they're not the best placed person to do it. But there's just a level of unseriousness that people think, when people think about HR, they think, we can do it. All they're doing, they're just fluffy stuff, you know? So they just think that they can do our job. But then when it was COVID, I think that's the first time they really did, maybe we can't do this. Like, I can't, like, help me. When really they should probably be thinking about that, like, a lot more.
Yeah. I don't know if it was just me, but I felt like during the pandemic and like just a little bit afterwards, I saw so many HR roles. Like I saw a lot, and I felt like part of that was because people felt like, actually we need this HR person in place, just in case.
It's all well and good thinking that you can do HR's job until
people think HR is easy. People think they can just walk into HR. Like the amount of people, now I'm going off on one, but the amount of people who have, like, they have zero connection to HR. Like they're not in a role where HR is anything to do with them, have come to me and said, Velisa, I'm ready. I'm going to move into HR. Can I go straight into like a manager position? Who are you?
What qualifications do you have?
You've come to offend me. You've actually come to offend me, because no, like, you can't do. What makes you think you can just walk into a HR role?
No, but people literally think it's a very unserious profession.
They do. But you can stay there and think that it's unserious.
You should let them do it,
because
when they're crying down the phone, you'll be like,
literally think it's unserious. Like they think we're glamorized admin is what people think. A lot of people think of HR.
Yeah. I'm with you. Everyone just thinks they can do our job. So I think COVID was the first time when they were like, wow, like maybe we actually need someone with this expertise. I love when people talk about expertise when they talk about HR people. Yeah. I'm like, be knowing.
Yeah.
We have expertise. Yeah. No, because it's not just like a one size fits all, anybody can do it kind of
really
situation.
Not. It's not at all. But people think it is, and it's so offensive. Like, you're not me. You'll never be me. Okay. You can't do what I do.
It's crazy.
Yeah. It's not easy, but you know, those who are in HR that are listening, I know you appreciate us and we appreciate you.
How do you think we can get, you know, or how can we support or work with that kind of C-suite level to help them understand like what we do?
I think it's what we say all the time, to be fair, which is like, you just have to speak their language. You just have to have that commercial knowledge of what they're trying to achieve for the business, and just let them know like how you can help and what that looks like, and just build those relationships, like just general, you know, familiar relationships where you're even a person that comes to mind. Because a lot of the time with people at that level, HR, if they don't have a good relationship with their HR business partner, you're not going to be the person that comes to mind.
Yeah.
If you have that familiar, like friendly relationship with them, they will genuinely come to you, even when you're not even the appropriate person in HR to go to, which is what I find. Like with me, because I'm ER, sometimes things will go to the HR business partners that have really good relationships with their leaders rather than me. Because you know, they've built those relationships.
It's not even a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing at all.
Like the business partners are plugged into all the right
people.
Yeah.
Because then it's helpful for me. Yeah. So I think it's just like giving that, talking in their language and giving them the understanding of this is what it looks like if you actually partner with me. And
it's important to have real business partners, like a real business partnering function as well.
Yeah.
Because if you have a real business partnering function, that's actually their role to be out there with, like, and if they're doing their job, people will kind of see the strategic benefit in having them around.
Yeah.
Just like that. Like if people allow them the space to do the job that they're there to do.
Yeah. And I mean, anyone who knows me personally, they know that I sometimes drag the HR business partner role, but deep down,
it's not for me.
Like sometimes it's like, what are you not doing? But anyway, like deep down, I know the value. I know the value of the
deep down,
somewhere deep down. If I dig, I know the value of the HR business partner role, and it's key for keeping that visibility of what's going on in the orgs. Because for example, when something comes to me, I don't have that visibility, so all I know is they've effed up where they weren't supposed to. But the HR business partner will have extra context of
and they can
this is what the org is like.
Yeah,
exactly. This happened and this has led to this, which now has blown up to this. So I get it.
So you can't, I just think you can't really have, especially when you're in a big organization, you can't have a good understanding of every single business area. So that's where business partners can really shine, because they can get into the real weeds of their business area, understand the challenges, understand like the kind of specific kind of environment, the micro environment there.
Yeah. Big up you HRBPs.
We have quite a few that listen, you know.
Yeah,
and HRBP is the role that everyone always wants to do. Like when you talk,
that's literally the role everyone wants to
like
do.
when you be like, oh, what do you want to do in HR? They'll be like, oh, I think I want to be a HRBP. And I'll be thinking, sometimes I'll be thinking, oh, okay. Sometimes I think, why?
Like one of my on Black in HR, one of the most shared posts is, you know, there was a TikTok sound where it was like, I like this one.
Yeah.
And I did one with different HR roles, and for the HRBP it was, we get it, you like this one. And everyone was like kiki in the comments. I was like, yeah, you all want to be HRBPs. But it's all good. Yeah. I understand why people like that role. It's the most like, it's just the one that people, I think it's one of the most glamorized HR roles when you're in HR.
I just think it's just because it's called a business partner. Like it just feels like, it sounds like I'm important.
It does, but I think it's like when I was growing up in HR, I wanted to be a HRBP because it just looked like the role to be in. Like it was glamorized. Like it wasn't, you wasn't doing all the admin, you weren't doing all the notes, you were literally the person having teas and coffees with all these different people and getting to know them.
And it doesn't feel so back office.
Like people know who you are.
Very back office, but it doesn't feel, but it feels like quite front of house.
So I get why people want to be a HR business partner. Not me, but
shout out you guys.
Yeah, you guys are doing well.
We have some announcements. An announcement. You're looking at me.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking at her like, what is she talking about?
Yeah, it's not the kind of big announcement like that. But we have decided that we're going to change the day that we put new episodes of the podcast out. So they used to come out on Fridays, but going forward, they will be coming out on Mondays. So good, I think good for a start of the work week. Get your head back into work, listen on your Monday morning commute or whenever. And that's just for us from a sustainability perspective. To be honest, I don't even know the last time we got that episode out on a Friday at midnight.
I try not to think about it.
Yeah, but this will make it a bit easier for us to, we'll definitely be able to kind of keep up with the regular cadence of getting things out. So that's that. We are going to find a way to introduce ourselves on every episode.
I was going to say, this is the end of the episode, and I've been Vels.
And I have been Lola, but you can call me Lola if you like.
Yeah, and you can call me Velisa if you want. That's a wrap, guys.
Bye.